Chapter 126, The Covenant of Sovereignty. Juro took one last long slow drag from his cigar, the tip glowing a harsh orange in the dim light of the ruined arena. Exhaling a thick cloud of gray smoke, he looked over at Raito with a sharp, knowing smile. "If you don't have a plan then," Juro muttered, effortlessly spinning his heavy pistol around his trigger finger with practiced ease. Before the weapon could even click back into his palm, Raito interrupted him, his voice cutting through the tension like cold steel. "No." Juro paused, his smile fading into a look of genuine surprise. Raito didn't hesitate. "I will go first." Down below, Age's eyes widened behind his armor, a look of utter shock washing over him. "What?" he gasped. Hidden away beneath the shattered debris of the steps, Ryu adjusted his position, his heart hammering against his ribs as he stared out at the scene. What is he up to? Ryu thought, his mind racing. What is he planning? Inside his own mind, Raito's thoughts were heavy, burdened by the weight of leadership. "I can't let them get injured any further," he told himself, his jaw tightening, or worse, get killed. "I need to buy them time." Slowly, Raito turned his head and looked directly at Age. Age stared back, his gaze locking onto the stoic contours of Raito's mask. For a long, agonizing moment, Age stood completely frozen, the gravity of the silent request weighing on him. Then, with a tight exhale, he gave a firm, solemn nod. Seeing the silent exchange, Fuma's blood boiled, his voice cracked with anger as he barked at Age. "What are you planning? Why are you letting him do this?" Age stared straight ahead, his voice flat and unreadable. "Nothing." Seeing that the stage was set, Juro casually turned away, walking a few paces out into the open area to give them space. "Well then," he drawled, completely unfazed by the world-ending threat hovering above them. "I guess I have time to chill out a bit more." He pulled another fresh cigar from his coat, flicking a flame to life and lighting it up without a care in the world. Fuma completely ignored him, turning his raging focus back onto Raito, his voice elevating even louder. "I won't just stand here watching you fight. I regenerated myself a while ago, and I'm ready to kill this monster." High above them, Ishori began to laugh. It was a vile, devilish sound that echoed painfully off the cracked arena walls. "You mortals are funny," Ishori sneered, his red eyes gleaming with sadistic amusement. "Fun to listen to, fun to watch, and it will be pure fun to kill you." Fuma completely lost his mind, the insult snapping his remaining restraint. He lunged forward, pouring all his energy into a desperate, aggressive charge straight toward Ishori. But the monster barely even blinked. "Teki," Ishori whispered, his voice carrying a terrifying chill. "Laser claw." With a casual, lightning-fast flick of his hand, Ishori raked his sharp, elongated nails through the air. A massive, catastrophic blow, composed of dozens of razor-sharp, glowing lines of energy rushed forward. The attack missed Fuma by mere inches, but the sheer displaced force of it tore through the battlefield. The solid concrete floor of the arena was instantly carved deep, and the massive perimeter walls were cleanly sliced open as if they were made of paper. Fuma froze instantly in his tracks. His heart skipped a beat, his eyes locked onto the deep, smoking fissures in the walls, then slowly tracking back up to the levitating figure of Ishori. The monster had unleashed that entire world-shattering attack with a single, lazy wave of his hand. For the first time, pure, unadulterated fear reflected in Fuma's eyes. His knees trembled. "Kateka-sensei," he whispered, his voice shaking. This is something else. I'm not enough for this." Age looked over at the trembling warrior, his voice commanding and sharp. "Fuma." Fuma flinched, snapping his head toward him. "Age." "Focus," Age commanded, his grip tightening on his weapon. Stepping past them both, Raito moved out into the center of the destruction, his voice ringing out loud and clear. "I will be your opponent." Ishori tilted his head, his gaze drifting down to settle on Raito. A cruel smile touched his lips. "I don't know who you are," the demon mused, "but I have heard many gossips about you, the masked man who is desperately collecting information about our plans." Ishori leaned forward in the air, his tone dropping into utter contempt. Just to make it clear to you, your actions are completely meaningless, just like your pathetic little team. Raito stood his ground, staring back up without uttering a single word. If this is supposed to be the team you've gathered to stand against us, then you are all utterly doomed. Ishori laughed, spreading his arms wide. Oh, pardon me. Maybe that little bitch with her screaming had a fraction of potential, but in the end, she is just as useless as the rest of you. Hearing the insult directed at their comrade, Fuma's fear vanished, replaced instantly by a burning, hateful glare. He took a step forward, but Age immediately put a hand out, his voice low. Calm down. Raito finally responded, his voice echoing with absolute conviction as he looked up at the tyrant. You know nothing about my plan, and you know absolutely nothing about humanity. With a sudden burst of energy, Raito elevated smoothly into the air, ascending until he was level, with the floating demon facing him eye to eye. Our covenant is strong enough to stop you, Raito declared, his aura flaring to life. And it is sharper than your claw, sharper than any blade you could ever wield. Ishori's demonic smile widened into a jagged, bloodthirsty grin. He threw his head back and laughed. Then show me. Without another word, Raito burst forward, flying like a missile straight toward the tyrant. Ishori didn't move an inch, holding his ground with that horrific, confident smile, waiting for the impact.